So whenever I talk of stochastic, remember these are basically probabilistic models. Probabilistic models. Inventory problems where you will be able to see probabilities being given. And they will only be given if demand is not certain or if lead time is not certain. Ladies and gentlemen, remember lead time stands for what here? We are supposed to know that lead time stands for the delivery time. The delivery time. The time taken by suppliers to deliver goods to us. Time taken by suppliers to deliver goods to us. And then we shall be able to open now April 2024. Question number 2, boy. Once you get that question, can you kindly tell me yes? April 2024, question number 2, boy. We shall do 2 questions today. We shall do this April 2024, question number 2, and then August 2023, question number 5. So this one has been gotten. So we are reading this together, my good students. The management of Lego Limited has noted that the management and control of inventories has become very uncertain. He has contracted you to devise an inventory system that allows for uncertainties, stochastic, to be applied to the current stock items branded CFFE. The following details of stock items are given, stock items CFFE are given. We can see the daily demand, we can see the probabilities. Yeah, we have lead time, and then you can see probabilities. So the daily demand applies for the whole lead time. Inventory carrying cost is 12.5% of inventory value. 3, the purchase cost and order cost are 100 per unit and 59.50 per order respectively. The current reorder level is 120,000 units. Number 5, 1 year has 300 working days. Number 1, they want us to give them the economic order quantity. Very easy. How do we get economic order quantity? How do we get this EOQ, my friends? I may forget about everything, but I will always remember that there is a square root. So it is square root of 2DCO over HC. Now, ladies and gentlemen, remember that this D is annual demand. D is annual demand. What I can see this examiner has given me, the examiner has given me daily demand. The examiner has given me daily demand here in a column that is called daily demand. So meaning that I must get this daily demand and then I multiply this with the number of days in a year. Yeah, the other thing he has done here, this daily demand is not precise. It's not just one figure. He has given me daily demand 3 figures with probabilities. Not a problem. So how do I get this daily demand? Very easily. I will basically get here expected. So this daily demand, the daily demand will be expected or average. How do I get this? It will be summation of x. It will be summation of x times probabilities. So very easy. So I have my demand items 3,000. So 3,000 times 0.2 plus 5,000 times, these are the x values times probabilities, right? And then we are summing up 5,000 times 0.5. Then we have 6,000 times 0.3. 6,000 times 0.3. So if there's somebody who is able to give me this expected daily demand. So I'm being given a figure of 4,900 units a day. And therefore, the annual demand, what I will be calling D, I will take this 4,900 times days, number of days in a year. Number of days in a year. Has this examiner given me the number of days in 1 year? Has this examiner? Yes, thanks, Mercy. So it will be 4,900 times 300 days, which I'm being told will give us 14,700 70,000. Yeah. So that is our D. That is our D. Can you be kind enough and give me, because I know these have been given, the CO is cost per order. The CO is cost per order, and this has been given to me. If you look at note number 3, the purchase cost and the order cost are 100 and 59.50 respectively. So this is 15,950, like that. The CO cost per order has been given. What this examiner was a little bit trying to confuse us a little bit is this HC. So we want to see whether there is any ninja here who would have gotten this HC. Remember, HC is holding cost per unit per year. Holding cost per unit per year. Holding cost per unit per year. Anybody who has this answer? They gave it to us in form of a percentage. Whenever they provide this in form of a percentage, we shall always do a abracadabra. Yes, Mary. Great. It is 12.5%. Whenever it is given like this, it has to be given as a percentage of purchase price per unit. So it will be 12.5%. The purchase price per unit has been given. In note number 3. Note number 3, they have told us the purchase cost. I can see there are 2 figures which are respective. The first one is for purchase cost, which is 100. Which in this case, yes, some ninja here is giving me a figure of 12.5. And therefore, our economic order quantity will be equal to 2 times annual demand. Yeah. Times, in this case here, cost per order. The cost per order is 15,950. Divide this by holding cost, which is 12.5. My friends, first of all, start by evaluating what is inside here. What is inside my brackets? So we'll say 2 times 1470,000 times 15,950 divided by 12.5. Whatever I shall get, I will come and say square root of that now. Yeah, Ismail is giving me 61,249 units. 61,249 units, and then I underline like that. And then I underline like that. I'm so sure everybody in an exam would have gotten this right, isn't it? I want to believe this one was for everybody to get right. Nobody would have gotten this wrong. Nobody. Thank you so much. Then now we can go to number 2. So number 2, they want us to give them the relevant inventory cost for the year. The relevant inventory cost for the year. Now, here I would want you to really listen and listen to me very well. Listen and listen to me very well. Now, remember, we have what we call total cost. In terms of inventory, for number 2, whenever they want us to calculate total cost, or whenever they are silent, our total cost will be equal to purchase cost plus, in this case here, ordering cost plus holding cost per annum. This is how we calculate the total cost, total inventory cost, where the D purchase cost, we take DP, annual demand, times purchase cost per unit. Annual demand times purchase cost per unit, if you're writing this in full. Ordering cost, it's all about number of orders. Number of orders times CO. Number of orders times CO. And then holding cost, this one is normally based on average stock, Q/2. Q/2. Remember, Q is the economic order quantity. This formula, I will always use it whenever the examiner wants me to ascertain the cost, or whenever this examiner wants me to get total cost. But now listen. When they ask for relevant cost, in this case here, there are only 2 relevant costs. They are looking at ordering cost plus holding cost. These are the only relevant costs in a situation where the purchase price is constant. where there are no discounts, if purchase cost will remain at 100, then the argument for inventory management is that this component becomes irrelevant for decision making. So relevant cost, whenever they ask, like this question was very, very categorical. They wanted us to calculate the relevant inventory cost for the year. Relevant costs will be basically the ordering and what year and the holding. So then if it is ordering will be D over QCO plus Q over 2HC. All right. So then can you kindly, ladies and gentlemen, plug in the numbers, we see whether we'll be able to get the correct relevant cost. So I reiterate here, I repeat again, ladies and gentlemen, that relevant costs are only two: ordering and what year holding cost. In a situation where this price will not be fluctuating. So now you have everything. Don't forget that this quantity is the economic order quantity, which we got up there. Q, whenever you see Q, use economic order quantity and then give me an answer. Then give me an answer. I'm all eyes to see your figures. I'm all eyes to see your figures here. Thank you so much. So then the annual demand is 1470,000. I divide this by Q, which is EOQ, which is 61,249. I multiply this by cost per order. I multiply this by cost per order, which was given in note number 3, 15,950. 15,950 plus the same Q, ladies and gentlemen, the same EOQ. The same EOQ, for lack of space, I'll come and say a plus 61,249 over 2 times that holding cost, which was 12.5. Which then at the end of the day, these ninjas are giving me some figure, 765, 613 Kenya shillings. All of us are able to get this Kenya shillings 765, 613. Yeah, always at EOQ, thanks for that. At EOQ, the ordering costs and the holding cost will be the same. If you try computing this separately, you'll see that this figure will exactly be equal to this figure, save for a little rounding off errors. However, even in an exam, if a student goes ahead and does the costing this way, as examiners will be trained, we'll close our eyes and go ahead and do what here and still give what here and still give full marks. Why does, in this case here, this relevant cost only have 2 costs? I will be able to demonstrate this. Now, ladies and gentlemen, please listen. Assuming in this case, I would want to use just a little example. Just some little example here. Or even this same example, right? Yeah. So assuming in this case here, we wanted to get this relevant cost, yeah. But we decide to use the DP. So in this case here, DP here. So we say D times price. So then this annual demand would have been 1470,000 times price of 100. Yeah, plus now whatever the other things. Now listen. If, for example, we went for a different quantity, which is not this 61,249, if you change quantity, maybe to 70,000, you see this number here will be different. This number will change. But you see now, even if you go to 70,000, the annual demand is on advance and will remain constant, the price will remain constant. So it doesn't matter. So even if you change the EOQ to a different number, this particular metric will always remain the same. Remember the principles of relevant costing. Relevant costs are supposed to be differential. They're supposed to be incremental. Any cost which is going to remain constant shall always be left out of the equation. All right, I hope that is clear. But the most important thing for me is for you to appreciate that whenever they ask relevant costs, we should always remember this. And in the event you're not able to remember, no worries. You can't be given any wrong there. So number three, they want us to calculate the current level of safety stock implicit in the current reorder period. in the current reorder period. So they want us to give them the current level of safety stock implicit in the current reorder period. So then in this particular case, what do I need to do? I need to calculate what we call reorder level. So the first thing we need to do here is to calculate what we call reorder level. So right there, reorder level. So whenever we talk about reorder level, also known as reorder point, So basically, this is the quantity that we are keeping aside. Quantity of stocks we keep aside to be consumed during lead time. Quantity of stock that we keep aside to be consumed during lead time. And that is why we normally say that reorder level is the consumption or demand during lead time. That consumption during lead time is what we call reorder level or reorder point. Then given this, how do we calculate this reorder level? So to calculate this reorder level, basically you shall take the demand times lead time. Demand times lead time. So anytime they want you to get the order level, you take demand times lead time. Because we are saying that the order level is the consumption during lead time. So the order level will be demand during lead time. Now let me ask you a question. Has this examiner given us our lead time? Do we know our lead time? How many somebody, they have told us that lead time, there's a place they told us about lead time. Yeah, so lead time in this case, you're right, it will be average, isn't it? So because they've given me, it's either 20 days or 25 days. So then go ahead and they give me the average lead time. So the average lead time, because it's probabilistic, it is XP. It is a summation of X times probabilities. So the average lead time, in this case here, it will be 20 times 0.4 plus 25 times 0.6. Can somebody give me this average lead time? I'm being given 23 days. 23 days. Now listen, I repeat again. We are saying here that the order level equals demand per day, demand per day times lead time days. Because now I've known that lead time has been given in the form of number of what here? Days. If, for example, lead time was given in terms of weeks, I would have said lead time weeks times demand per week. Yeah, so this will be demand per day times lead time days. So can somebody give me the demand per day, then we compare notes? Can somebody give me the demand per day, then we get to compare notes? Can somebody give me demand per day, then we get to compare notes? Yeah, somebody had already calculated this. It was 4,900. It was 4,900 times lead time days, which are now 23. 4,900 times 23, which now will give me 112,700 units, 112,700 units. So it means that, lead time is a very, very sensitive duration during our stock management. Lead time is very, very sensitive. 112,700, thank you very much. Lead time is really, really a sensitive period. If you're not careful, you shall run out of stocks during lead time, during this delivery time. Because this is the time when you call your supplier, tell your supplier, now I want you to bring me this number of reams of papers for our printing of our revision kits. And then in this case, the supplier will tell you, hey, I will deliver after, say, 3 days. 3 days will be there, no stocks are brought. So then you need what we call a buffer. You need some quantity buffer, which is going to assist you in case this guy misbehaves a little bit. So we know that during lead time, we are going to consume this number of units. But again, we don't trust these people 100%. There is a possibility that it could take 4 days instead of taking 3 days. So we need to keep something over and above. We need to keep something over and above this consumption during lead time, which in this case, this examiner has asked us. This examiner wants us to get the safety stock implicit, which I would want you to write there, that safety stock. First of all, I would want to give these ninjas time to finish writing. Once you finish writing, please mention there, especially the one who was telling me to move. Once you finish writing, please mention there Y for yes. Thank you so much. And then you write there. Remember, we haven't yet finished doing number 3. We're still doing number 3. So now we want to look at the concept of what here, the concept of safety stock. So tell us there that safety stock, aka buffer stock, B-U-F-F-E-R, buffer like this, also known as buffer stock, is the minimum additional inventory. Is the minimum additional inventory held above the current reorder level. I repeat, safety stock, also known as buffer stock, is the minimum additional inventory held above the current reorder level. So, ladies and gentlemen, for us to be able to calculate this safety stock, this is what we shall do. Our safety stock will be equal to the current, pick whatever you have there, the current reorder level minus the demand during lead time. So anytime you want to get the additional units, you shall take the current reorder level, minus the demand during lead time. What is the demand during lead time? Actually, that definition has an issue. Allow me to repeat, and then you can delete. We need to change something there. It is a minimum additional inventory held above the demand during lead time. I repeat, it is a minimum additional inventory held above. Rub whatever follows above, and then you write it afresh. I repeat, safety stock is the minimum additional inventory held above the demand during lead time. Held above the demand during lead time. So is there somebody who is able to give me the current reorder level? Anybody who is able to see this current reorder level? Anybody who is able to see this current reorder level? 120,000 given in note number 4. 120,000. And then remember, during our lead time, we are expecting some consumption. How many units are we expecting to be consumed? 112,700. 112,700. So the excess will be the buffer. The excess will be the safety stock, 7,300. Especially for those of you who are working in sensitive institutions like hospitals, you cannot afford to have medicine just along the edge. No, we need to keep something a little bit more. So 7,300 is our safety stock. That stock we are keeping without an intention of consuming. During lead time, we don't intend to consume this 7,300. Our prayers are we consume our normal 112,700, and this is left for some rainy day, bad days ahead of us. So once I do another question on this, I believe everything will be very, very good. Everything will be very, very good. All right, ladies and gentlemen, with your permission, I'll be able to go to the probability of stock out. Probability of stock out. So can I go to number 4 now? Can I go to number 4 comfortably now? Probability of stock out, yes. So probability of stock out, make it very easy. We shall draw a probability tree. We shall draw a probability tree. So we have our probability tree. So our probability tree, we have something like this. Yeah. So we have demand, which could either be 3,000. We have here 5,000. We have here 6,000. Yeah. And then we have in this case here, the lead time. So these demands, they have given us probabilities. So 0.2, 0.5, 0.3. The probability is, first of all, here we have our LT, which could either be 20, 25, 20, 25, 20, 25. So we have been given the probabilities there, 0.4, 0.6, 0.4, 0.6, 0.4, 0.6. Let me know once you're able to draw this diagram. You simply say Y for yes, and then thank you, Chelsea person, Margaret, So then come and give me here a column for total demand or a total consumption. Total demand or a total consumption. Remember, this is consumption per day, and these are number of days. So like the first one, you will take 3,000 times 20. Please give me a figure. The first one, we shall take 3,000 times 20. Please give me a figure. Yeah, this gives me 60,000. So I've already done the first one for demonstration. The second one will be 3,000 times 25. 3,000. And then I will not do all the others. Now you guys give me the numbers. You guys give me the numbers. And I will call this branch 1, branch 2, branch 3, branch 4, branch 5, branch 6, like that. So the second one I'm told is 75,000. I've shown you the way. Now give me the third one. I've shown you the way. Give me the third one. 100,000. So this is 100,000. 5,000 times 25,000. 125,000. Thank you so much. 6,000 times this is 120,000. This I can see. But 6,000 times 25,000, you have to give me 150,000. Now remember, we can only run out of stock. We can only run out of stock when demand is more than what you have supplied. When demand is more than what you've supplied. These are the possibilities of us running out of our stocks. So demand possibilities are there, but supply, how many units have we supplied, my good students? What is our supply? During this lead time, we supplied some quantity plus buffer. So in this case here, our supply, ladies and gentlemen, so we can only run out of stocks when our demand is more than 120,000. Is there somebody who is able to remember our 120,000? We can only run out of stocks if our demand is more than our supply. Supply is the same as the order point. The order point is what you have supplied during consumption, during lead time. So then I'll be able to look for those events when demand is more than 120,000. When demand is more than 120,000. So you can see, ladies and gentlemen, here that this one, we can, this demand. So there are only three possibilities, actually two. So like now, this one, I can see my demand being more than 120,000. This is exactly equal. I'll not run out of stocks if they come 120, but if they come 150, then I will run out of stocks. I will run out of stocks. All the other events, I won't run out of stocks because I'm armed with 120,000. Remember, out of these 6 events, it's only one event that will prevail. Don't tell me that those guys came and took 60,000. Now this one, no. It's only one. It's uncertain environment. If in this case here 60,000 customers come and I'm armed with 120, I will serve all of them. If the demand is 75,000, I will serve all of them and actually be left over with something. If demand is 100,000, I'll be able to serve all of them. But if it is 125,000, I can see myself turning away some customers. Because running out of stock is turning away some customers. Here, I will be able to cover all of them, although still danger zone, but I'll be able to cover all of them. Here, I will turn away some customers. So I'm only seeing probability of running out of stock, probability of running out of stock. There are only two possibilities. So probability of running out of stock is the probability that demand will be equal to 125,000, sorry. 125,000 or probability of demand being equal to 150,000 or means we add or probability of demand being equal to 150,000. There are only two possibilities. So and then remember this 125,000, how was it gotten? We went through this branch. So now we need what we call a joint probability. A joint probability for this one here, for this 125,000. So is there someone who can give me a JP, joint probability? Anybody who is able to give me a joint probability for 125,000? How do we get this joint? There are two probabilities that we need to join. So we have here 0.5 and a point what here? 6. You multiply them for this one here. So we have here 0.5 times 0.6. So this one here will end up giving me what figure? 0.3. So probability of the demand being 125,000 is 0.3 plus the probability of demand being 150. 150 is this one here. So in this case here, what is the joint probability? Joint probability there, that will be 0.3 times 0.6. JP for this. JP, joint probability will be 0.3 times 0.6, which will end up giving me what figure? 0.18 like that. So the probability of running out of stock, we have a situation of running out of stock. This is that situation, that event, when demand is more than 120,000. And there are only two possibilities. Once we've been able to identify them, then what we need to do is to get their joint or joined probabilities, which in this case, it will end up giving me 0.48, a 48%, a 48% probability. A 48% probability. A 48% probability. That is really good. That's very, very good. So not unless there is a question, I would want to tackle a different question, which will be the last question for tonight. Of course, by the time I'm finishing this question, then we shall be over. We shall be through. There's a question by Harvey, okay? A question by Harvey. I should never ever. A question by Harvey. I can't see it. Lead time probability. How do you assume that the lead time for 3,000 for the second possibility is 25 when we were given 25 to be in line with the demand of 5,000, say to their probabilities? You see, 3,000. Assume the lead time for 3,000. No. Remember, ladies and gentlemen, a good question over there. Now I've been able to understand it. I was trying to think through it. Those tables are normally independent. They are not on the same line. There is no way they can ever mix them. Those tables are normally independent. The table for demand, so we have 3,000, 5,000, then 6,000. So we have here probability. So probability for this should be 0.2, 0.5, 0.3. That condition of that table should never ever cheat you to think that they are the same factors. These are different variables. So now we have here lead time in days, which is 20, 25 with these probabilities. So we have 0.4, we have 0.6. They are different. You can even see that their probabilities, whenever you add, this will be 1, meaning that this one has already accounted for 100%. Yeah, and this one will be 1. So they're different, Harvey. I hope you are able to see now. It doesn't mean that 3,000, the lead time is 20, 5,000, the lead time is 25, then for 6,000 is 0. No. Those are independent variables. They're separate. Thank you so much. Then with your permission, if there is no other question, how do you get the 0.48? Unfortunately, I've grabbed mine. You see, we took the probability of 125. This one, which was 0.5 times 0.6, which was 0.3. Plus, because of the OR, right? If you remember OR in high school, OR means add. Because there are two possibilities of us running out of stocks. It is either the demand is 125,000 or it's 150,000. So we took the two and added. This time, this was 0.3 plus 0.3 times 0.6, 0.18. That gives us 0.48. Maybe somebody can screenshot that working. It's Ninja, they have gotten a problem with the internet. Then they send the snapshot. Yeah, August 2023, question number 5A. August 2023, question number 5A. August 2023, question number 5A. Once you get it, thanks, Margaret. Yeah, once you get it, say yes. August 2023, question number 5A. August 2023, question number 5A. August 2023, question number 5A. They've gotten it. August 2023, August 2023, question number 5A. So August 2023, question number 5A was an interesting question that so many students got nothing, but in an exam and yet it is the easiest. Sanitizer Limited sells sanitizer bottles. The company finds that it runs out of stock on occasions and thus loses the contributions on missed sales. Sanitizer Limited works a 5-day week for 48 weeks a year. The demand figures have been analyzed for the last 20 weeks. Additional information, the estimated demand is 60,000 bottles per year. The opportunity cost of running out of stock is 55. The lead time is 5 days guaranteed. The cost of holding a bottle is 50 per year. The number of orders per annum are 10 orders, 6. The demand figures for the last 20 weeks are as follows. So you can see sanitizer bottles sold, number of days, the level of demand, sale occurs. So 7, at present, Sanitizer Limited uses at the order level of 250 sanitizer bottles and does not carry any safety stock because of the guaranteed delivery time required. They want us to give them the optimal safety stock in units, the probability of being out of stock. This is a very interesting question. There are 2 interesting areas in terms of inventory management, actually 3. Yeah, so we have this kind of a question. We have another one called perishable goods and a simulation of an inventory problem. Once you're good with those 3 key areas, then the other areas like E or Q will be nothing to you. So then this one, the very first thing that you ought to have done, ladies and gentlemen, is to give us the probabilities for the demand distribution. So in this case here, give us the demand, probabilistic distribution, demand, probabilistic distribution, demand, probabilistic distribution. So we have our demand, 150, 200, 250, 300, 350, 400, 450. Then they have given us number of days. They have given us a number of days. So number of days have been provided. So number of days we have here 714, 35, 28, 14, and then 7. Can somebody give me this total number of days? Because these are our total frequency. These are our total frequencies. You add them, even if they're given on the question, you just need to add them afresh. So Margaret, they're giving me and Tony 140. So meaning that probabilities or frequencies, so we have 7 over 140, 14 over 140, 35 over 140, 35 over 140, 28 over 140, 14 over 140, 7 over 140. What are we able to get, ladies and gentlemen, here as our probabilities? At least there you're getting 1 mark. Coming up with a probability distribution. Yeah. So according to Lillian, 0.05, 0.05. And then the students who are in the normal class, please, yesterday I did a very, very good session on environmental management accounting. It's only 1 hour. 1 hour and that topic is over. So is it something you guys can create time in the week and then all of you get to watch it? Because it's theory 100%, the last topic. Because I want to finish this, I just do variances and then that is it. We mount proper revision. Yeah, because AMA is very interesting. I'm getting students who are telling me that, Mwalimu, what? I'm now doing AMA for the 7th time. We don't want that. That's bad spirit. This is something you should be able to knock down 1 time if you have never attended before. If you have attended before, we need to finish this thing and get to other things. It's an easy paper. Already we have a ninja who has done it. Great. Already we have a ninja who has been able to watch that video. It's just 1 hour. Maybe I should circle it. Maybe Tony Mbudia, you can show them later on where that video is. Just 1 hour over lunch hour. That lunch hour, you'd have gone to eat lots of meat and other things. You simply sacrifice, say nothing to that meat, watch that video, so that now we can, when we mount a proper revision program, everybody will be comfortable saying now the syllabus is over. Oh, it was on Friday. They're telling me it was on Friday. I don't know. Was it on Friday? I thought it was yesterday. Oh, it was on Friday. I can't even remember very well. But somebody called Tony here will be able to guide you guys. So can you kindly add for me this, or rather divide for me this? Kindly divide yesterday here. Kindly divide. 14 over 140 will end up giving me what figure? 0.1. Then 35 over 140 will end up giving me 0.25. Then we have 35 over 140, 0.2. Thank you so much. 28 over 140 will end up giving you what here? 0.1. No. 28. Maybe this is 0.1 here. And this is 0.05. So this will be 0.2. No. So 35 over 140 will be 0.25. And all these probabilities adding up to 1, that is really important because it's a whole distribution. It's a whole distribution. Are they adding up to 1? Yes. So once you have done this, then you are really doing a very, very good job. Now from there, you go to table number 2, which is the table of supplies. Supplies table. Supplies table. Of which we must always begin from current rope. From current rope. Always you begin from current rope. Current rope. How did we get to 140 then? Yeah, we added these days. 7 plus 14 plus 35 plus 35 plus 28 plus 14 plus 7. We added. Thank you so much. You should always try to assist the Mwalimu answer those questions. You see, at times, you get students blaming the teacher. It's not easy to manage a class of 140 students, and you are alone like this. And you're trying to look at the camera. You're trying to look at, in this case here, the comments here. It's not easy. So at times when you get a chance of helping a colleague, please help. You don't pretend or rather assume that Mwalimu is seeing and is pretending. No. At times I may not even be able to see. Thank you so much. So begin from the current reorder point. Remember, current reorder point is what you also call reorder level. Reorder level. So is this someone who is able to see the current reorder level from the additional information? Anybody who is able to see the current reorder level or reorder point from the current information? Note number 7. 60, no. Francisca, no. They have given us note number 7. You see 60,000 is the estimated demand. That is capital D. Note number 7. At present, Sanitizer Limited uses a reorder level of 250. Yeah. So you always begin with the current reorder. So you say supply. Supply. So this supply, we are beginning from the current, which is 250. And remember, this is like salvation. Salvation. Once you've been able to identify your current here as 250, it's forward ever, backward never. So you don't look at it. So you start from the current and then you move down. So we have 250, 300. 250, yeah, we start from here. 300, 350. We have 400, we have 450, like that. And then we write their corresponding probabilities. So the probability is 0.25. The probability for the first one. So you go downwards like that. 0.25, 0.2, 0.1, 0.05. Let me know once you're able to finish this. So the supplies table is very, very sensitive to us. You always start with what you're supplying currently for the current reorder period. So you start always from the current, this one here. Why you picked 250, I'll be able to repeat there. I picked 250 because it is the rule. Under the supplies table, you shall always begin from the current reorder point or reorder level. And if you look at note number 7, they've given you the current at present. Present means what your current today. Sanitizer Limited uses a reorder level of 250 bottles. 250 bottles. So you start from the current, begin from the current reorder point. Yeah, and then you go onwards. Yeah, you cannot pick smaller values than this. Once you start with this, should be the smallest ascending order. So from 250, you move like that with their corresponding probabilities. Write them like that. All right. How would the probability be? A very, very good question, but I think let's cross the bridge once we reach there. Let's cross this bridge once we reach there. Great. So Marion is getting 62.5. I don't know where she has gotten this from, but we shall overcome. We shall overcome. We shall overcome. All right. Now, ladies and gentlemen, once we have this one, for Mwalimu, I have to rub this. Then I write this table because I need big space. I need big space. So we have here the supplies table. So supply. So we have here 250, 300, 350, 400, 450, and then the probabilities are here. 0.25, 0.25, 0.2, 0.1, 0.05 like that. And then I will be able to come and write here demand. So remember the table that we did, the payoff table that we did. The supplies that you have here will be the demand figures that you have on the other side, on this other side. So then we have this one, 250, 300. We're repeating the same numbers, 350, 400, 450, like that. Yeah. So then, ladies and gentlemen, the question will be very, very easy. Please listen, and this is very, very easy. I'm trying, this is the supplies. We normally call it the supplies and the stock outs. Stock outs table. Please add this one. It is the supplies and the stock out table. Supplies and the stock out table. So now, from there, ladies and gentlemen, now you need to tell us straight away, you tell us great things inside here. Great. So then how are we calculating these great things here? First of all, have you been able to draw this table up to here? Please confirm, because I don't want to fill it without you making that confirmation. You must confirm. You must confirm. Great. So all of them are okay. Now they are simply waiting for us to do what here? They're simply waiting for us to be able to okay. So then I would want us to look at stock out possibilities. Stock out possibilities. What are our stock out possibilities? Now, I want you to do me a favor. I don't want to calculate this table that way. I don't want us to move it that way. Please, let's change this. Let this be the demand. Let this be the demand. I'll be able to explain later. Yeah, I don't want to do it that way because I don't want to change these probabilities. I'll be able to explain this later. Please wrap this, call this demand, and then you call this supply. I wanted to do it exactly like our payoff table, but no problem. Call this demand, and then we call this one supply. I'll be able to explain later. So I presume you have made that change, and I'll be able to explain. I'll be able to start even from scratch. Now, ladies and gentlemen, I've been able to supply these 250 units. And the demanded units are 250. So here, I will not have any stock out. I will not disappoint anybody here. But if I supply 250 and the demand is 300, could you kindly give me the number of stock outs here? If I supply 250 and then we have the demand being 300, the number of customers will be disappointed here, they will be 50. If I supply 250 And then the demand is 350. You are simply taking, ladies and gentlemen, this minus what is demanded. Yeah. What has been supplied minus what is demanded, but don't put a negative answer. All right. So in this case here, 250 minus 350, oh, forget the negative, eh? It's 100. 250 minus 400, we are getting 150. All right. And then lastly, we have here 250 minus 450, giving me what here? Somebody giving me 200. Please finish writing your column like that. Finish writing your column like that. And then let's target, in this case here, the second column. Please give me suggested answers. Give me suggested answers. Second column, please give me suggested answers. Remember, it's about disappointing. How many customers have we disappointed? A1Jiko, no. Because if we supply 300 and then the demand is 250, are you going to disappoint anybody? No, you shall not disappoint anybody there. But in this case here, you're not disappointing anybody there. Actually, we will be left with something extra. Yeah. So come here. So we have here 300 and 300, no disappointment. But should they come 350 and I had supplied 300, so I will be able to disappoint 50. Here I will disappoint 100. At this level of demand, I will disappoint 150. I will disappoint 150. Now, can you kindly then fill everything up for me now? So if I was to supply 350 and they come fewer, like here they're coming fewer, no disappointment. Here, no disappointment. 350 vis-a-vis 350, no disappointment. But should they come 400, then I disappoint 50. Here, I will go to disappoint how many? 100. So nothing there. So here, I will be able to disappoint how many? I'll be able to disappoint, ladies and gentlemen, here, 450 versus 400. I'll be able to disappoint what here? 50 like that. 50. And then, of course, if I decide to bring 450 the highest, I will never disappoint anybody. I will never disappoint anybody. So then can you kindly give me the average stock out? I'll be able to repeat this totally. Give me the average. Yeah, this is a better approach. Organize it like this down. Average stock out. How do I get this average stock out? It is XP, summation of XP. So for this supply level, I will take the X values times the corresponding probabilities. You add, give me an answer. So average stock out for each supply level, So in this case here, I can do this as working one, just for the sake of your future revision. So working one, you're saying it is the supply at 250. Supply at 250, then the stock out, we expect here 50 times 0.25 plus 100. 100 times 0.2 plus 150 times 0.1 plus 200 times 0.05. Is there anybody who is able to give me this answer? They're giving me 57.5. 57.5. And you can go and do the same for the other supply points. At times, at first when I do this, I know you think it's complicated. There is nothing. This is very easy. Nothing. So like now here, I will take 50 times 0.2 plus 100 times 0.1 plus 150 times 0.05. You give me a figure. So I repeat, for this one, it will be 50 times 350, 50 times 0.2, because it's XP, plus 100 times 0.1, plus 150 times 0.05. So somebody is giving me a figure of 7.5. How about the third one? Let's work very hard. The third one, I'm being given 10. The third one, I'm being given 10. The third one, how have they gotten this 10? They took 50 times 0.1 plus 100 times 0.05. They got this 10. And then the last one will be 50 times 0.05, which gives them 2.5. And then this very last one, it will be 0. So remember, this is average stock count. You need number of orders. Number of orders in a year. Number of orders in a year. Has this examiner given us number of orders in a year? It's given there. If you read those additional notes, additional information, number of orders in a year has been given. Margaret tells me it is 10. And this cuts across. Regardless of the supplies, this will cut across. Regardless of the supplies, this will cut across. So then get ahead and they give me the total stock out per annum. Total stock out per annum. Per annum. Total stock out per annum, what do? You take these two numbers and multiply them. You take those two numbers and multiply them, and that will be it. You multiply this. So this will be 575 actually. This will be 275. This will be 100. This will be 25. This will be 0. This will be 0. This will be 0. Ladies and gentlemen, have they given us the stock out cost per unit? For every customer we disappoint, how much do we lose? Has this examiner given me anywhere there anything to do with stock out cost per unit? Yeah, so come here and convert now this to stock out cost. So give me the total stock out cost per unit. Not per unit, but total stock out cost at 55 per unit. At 55 per unit. So like now this 575, you say 575 times 55. 575 times 55. Because for every person you disappoint, the company loses 55. And the whole year, we should be disappointing 575. So this one gives me 31,625. This one gives me 31,625. 275 times 55, somebody by any chance? I know you are tired. 15,125. 15,125. 100 times 55. That's what I know. It will be 5,500. Then we have, ladies and gentlemen, 25. 25, in this case here, times what here? 25 times 55. 1375. 1375. 1375. And then now lastly, ladies and gentlemen, we have 0 times 55, which gives me 0. Which gives me 0. Which gives me 0. Which gives me 0. All right. Now that is the end of this particular crazy table. It shall become okay. I'm not afraid. Now we go to the last table. So this last table, it's normally an easy table to do. Normally, it's an easy table to do. So this last table, basically we are going to calculate, what we're going to calculate here is the safety stock. Safety stock table. It's called safety stock table. Safety stock table. So we have here safety stock table, the very last table. Safety stock table. I may not be able to remember this, but I can also wrap up to here. So safety stock table, you shall come here and write, come here and write the same, the demand one, but now you call this one reorder level. Maybe I'm dragging. So reorder level. So you're looking at possibilities. Our reorder level could either be 250, 300. This is the last table. I'm finishing this in the next 3 minutes. So we were trying to imagine. Should we keep 250? Should we keep 300? Should we keep 350? Should we keep 400? Should we keep 450? So please copy this column, but now this time around, call it reorder level. So you're calling this table the safety stock table. Safety stock table. And the first thing we do is to copy our demands or even our supplies, but we give it a title, reorder level, to give birth to what we call safety stock. safety stock. Safety stock. So once you finish writing up to, you don't write all this. No. These are just, by the way, you're only writing up to 450, and then I'll be able to explain something. In 3 minutes, ladies and gentlemen, we should be out of this class. So once you finish writing this at the order level versus safety stock, and then I will explain this. But first of all, once you finish doing this column, mention there why for yes. Thank you so much. Now, ladies and gentlemen, if you look at the question that we are doing, this question, they spoke something about the reorder level. They told us reorder level is 250. Please listen. This reorder level in this kind of questions, the reorder level given, the reorder level provided in this kind of questions does not have any safety stock. So meaning that where you are beginning, this one here where you are beginning from, safety stock is normally 0. So in this case, we could ask ourselves this question, why? It is because the current reorder point or reorder level, represents consumption during lead time. Represents consumption during lead time. So the very first one given here does not have any safety stock. Anytime you want to get safety stock, you'll be taking reorder level minus the first reorder level here. Anytime you're getting safety stock, you'll take this reorder level. This is our reorder level minus the first reorder level. Allow me to explain this something here. So anytime you want to get this safety stock, you'll take this reorder level that is here minus the first. This is the first reorder level, minus 250. So this will give you 0. You'll take the reorder level like the second one, 300, minus the first reorder level, 250. So that's what you do. When you come to the third one, you take the current reorder level minus the first one here, 250. This will give me 100. Then you come to this one, 400 minus the first. Don't forget, it's first reorder level throughout, which will end up giving me 150. This one here will be 450 minus the first reorder level, which is 250, which gives me 200. So please, first of all, write this. It's important for you to appreciate the fact that the very first stock level given, the very first reorder level given doesn't have any safety stock. It will always be 0. Safety stock there will always be 0. And to get this safety stock, you take the reorder level provided, you subtract the first reorder level. So like this one is provided 250 minus the coincidentally the first one. So like that. Ladies and gentlemen, once in this case here you reach here, now there are 2 more columns. Already we have these figures that I'll be picking here, but I need to come and know the holding cost for the safety stock items. So the holding cost, so now we need to come here and create the second last column. Holding cost of safety stock. Holding cost of safety stock. Let me ask you a question. Are you able to remember the holding cost for units, which is given in this question? Anybody who is able to remember the holding cost, which is given? Is it 50 holding cost? Holding cost, I'm told, is 50 per unit. So it is 50 per unit. So then here, it will be 0 times 50. This will be 50 times 50. This will be 100 times 50. This will be 150 times 50 to get the total. This will be 200 times 50. Somebody may ask, why are you not dividing this Q over 2? Because you told us at some point that to get holding cost, we normally take Q over 2 times HC. Why are you taking just Q, the safety stock, times HC the way it is? I'll explain. But first of all, give me these numbers. So the first one will be 0. Give me those numbers first of all. The first one will be 0. The second one is 2,500. This is 5,000. Yeah. This one, 7,500 or something. 7,500. This one is 10,000. Please confirm whether all those answers are correct. Yeah, thank you so much. I can see them there. They are correct. They are correct. Now, whenever you are looking at consumption, the normal stock, this is normally what happens. The normal stock, yeah, if you have here your quantity, yeah, the normal stock, you consume it like that with the time. But whenever you reach at a safety stock, your intention is not to chew safety stock. You should be able to get fresh supplies. In this case here, once you hit here, you should be able to get your supplier bringing in fresh units, and then you go back like that. So the normal one, normally holding cost, you take the average because of this reduction. Yeah, average. But safety stock is ever continuously on store. The assumption is that safety stock shall never be used. That is why safety stock holding cost, you cannot take this quantity divided by 2. For safety stock holding cost, you take whatever safety stock units you have times holding cost per unit. Don't average. So then remember, we have our stock out costs here. Stock out cost. Remember, we have our stock out cost here. So remember, for the first one, this one here, stock out cost for the 250, which was up here, 250 was up here. The first one is for 250, it is 31,260,625. The second one is 125. The third one is 5,500. The fourth one is 1,375. The last one is 0. Will you kindly copy that one, and once you finish, as I disappear because I know you are very, very tired, please mention there Y for yes. Mention Y for yes. Just copying. I know you may not be following, but just copying. And then I'll come and give me the total cost. So total cost, you are adding safety plus stock out. So we have here safety plus stock out. Safety plus the holding cost of, it's supposed to be holding plus stock out. Sorry for that. It's holding plus stock out. So you simply add to get total cost. So the first one will be 0 plus this, which is 31,625. The second one will be 2,500 plus this, which I don't know. Let's give me the second one, 17,625. 17,625. And then we have 5,000 plus that. 10,500. Then you take here 7,500 plus this 1,375. 88.75 from Ismail. And then we have 10,000. So among us, this total cost, which one is the very best? Which one is the lowest? 88.75. This is the optimal cost. So everything about this cost is good. So this is the optimal cost. So this optimal cost will translate to what? Safety stock. So in this case here, optimal cost is that, and therefore the optimal safety stock will be how many units? Somebody who is following. Optimal safety stock will be how many units? Somebody is following. Optimal safety stock. No, remember this is the other level. Safety stock is here. So the question was about, safety stock. So the optimal safety stock is 150 units. 150 units. Like, it's quite intense. And then the last question, they're asking about probability of stock out. Remember ourselves, we are stocking 400. So we can only run out of stocks if demand is 450. I'll be able to come and explain this much better later. But you see now here from the advice you've given us, we are going to stock. So we shall stock for 400. The safe stock, of course, is 150, but the stock level is 400. Therefore, the probability of stock out is probability of demand being more than 400, which is probability of demand being equal to 450, which in this case here, you guys have those probabilities somewhere here. Is there someone who is able to give me the probability which was here? Anybody who is able to give me this probability which was here? 0.05. 0.05 like that. So a good question. For safety stock, do you pick the highest or the lowest? No. For safety stock, you go by this optimal cost that you got here. This is the best cost, you go with it. Yeah. The corresponding safety stock is 150. You pick 150 rows. So you don't come again to see like which one is the highest, which one is the lowest. No. Optimal cost is the lowest cost. Once you have picked this, then you work with that row. You pick the optimal safety stock as 150, like that. So I believe that is okay. I believe today's dose has been quite hard, but yeah, great. No, I doubt. I'm telling you, is there somebody who has been able to see that, of course, it's not that easy, but is there somebody who has been able to see some light that this is something, if I go and practice a little bit, it's something I can nail down? It's something I can nail down. Yeah, I can tell you, you don't panic. This is something you can nail and it will be there in your exams. So probability, are you able to remember those probabilities that we had here? We start from the students who are telling me to pardon. Are you able to remember the probability? There is a table 2 that we did, which had a probability for this 450, which was 0.05. You see, ourselves, we have made a decision that we shall be stocking this 400 and this safety stock. Yeah, 400. This is what we have gone knowing we are going to stock. So then the probability of stock out, how do we run out of stock? We run out of stock whenever demand is more than what we have supplied. What we have supplied. So in this case here, what you have supplied is 400, and there is only one event when the demand is more than 400. Only one event when the demand is more than 400, which is this 450. So then what is the probability of 450? It is 0.05. You guys go and watch this video one more time so you meet and be able to do a replica of this question next time. But everybody shall watch this video. Everybody shall practice. Otherwise, thank you so much. Good night. You're supposed to be going to the next class. Suppose the events are 2, not a problem. If, for example, they were 2, assuming, this is very good question, assuming this was 500 and we had a 0.1. Yeah, 2 events. What do? We take this 0.05 plus 0.1. Yeah, great. We take this, it's either this or this. We add the 2 probabilities. But probability should not even scare you at all. Why did it scare you? In advanced AMA, how many students in Kenya do you think will be able to reach to the probability level? Most important is the structure, the tables. Thank you so much. Bye. Good night.